And Keith Miller, if you're out there, identify who you are or where you are. Dan, can you promote Lexius Brenny and Keith Miller? There's Lexius. Good. Good to see you, Lexius.
I see Keith is raising a hand.
The link for family and friends is the same, Ruby, as yours.
Yeah, family and friends don't get promoted into the inner circle where everyone is seeing you. So we need to get Keith into the inner circle if we can find Keith Miller and promote. There he is. And at 5:29, we are all here.
Yay.
I think we missed out on our music, our graduation music, or is that still to come?
I apologize. In the rush to promote 20 plus people, I did not start the music 6 minutes ago. That's how long the official piece is.
Understood. Just tell us when you want us to start, Dan, and I guess we'll turn off our. You want to give the basic rules to all of the panelists so that we're all familiar with what we need to do to make sure we're behaving.
So what we will ask all of the panelists to do, if you're not currently presenting, this applies to faculty and to students, if you go ahead and shut off your cameras and your microphones. And we'll follow the printed program, but Dr. Vanderwall, you can stay, you're the first up. And if everyone else would shut off their cameras, and if you don't, I will do that for you shortly. As your turn comes on, please follow the program and be ready to unmute your mic and camera when it's your turn to speak and when you're called upon. For the students in particular, the faculty or the person in charge of the program at any given time might ask you to turn your camera on, but others always shut your camera off, and look for the camera controls on your computer. And Zoom, it's generally near the, depending on what platform you're on, it's near the bottom left. There's a little microphone icon to mute and unmute your microphone, and there's a start video icon with a little camera. For most of you, it should have a slash over it right now. And we may proceed.
Right. I think many of you may find that the speaker view, which is up in the upper right corner, you can select speaker view, and that allows you to see, I believe, just the presenters rather than seeing all of the other squares. So we are going to formally begin, and I am so pleased to welcome all of the family and the friends and the other loved ones who are here participating in the School of Social Work graduation ceremony. We recognize that this is far from ideal. We recognize that we would all like to be in a real location with real people that we could touch and hug and scream and yell and holler and do all of those lovely things. That's not a possibility right now with the way that the world is, but we know that we are still going to proceed, and we are still going to be proud, and we are still going to be just glad that we've got our entire graduating class here and participating with us in our May 2020 social work graduation ceremony. It would be lovely to have you here, as I said, on campus. Those of you who are still living in the area, the campus is absolutely gorgeous right now, and you are allowed, even with stay-at-home orders, to go out and exercise. So please come onto the campus, wander around. The flowers are out, the trees are beautiful. Nature is going on as if nothing was happening other than spring. So we're pleased to have you here. We know that others of you are in other parts of the United States, and in some cases you may be even from other countries. And so we may be representing different time zones. I don't know if we have people who are up really, really late or up really, really early, but we're so pleased that you chose to join us here and join us now for this really momentous and important occasion. So thank you so much for joining us. We'd like to first start with a word of prayer. So if everyone would please bow your heads, and we'll start asking the Lord to come and join us in this ceremony, wherever we are. Let's bow our heads. Lord, we thank you so much for your care and your protection and your love. We know that this is a difficult time. We know that these are circumstances that we didn't choose, but we know that in spite of the hardships, that you love and care about each one of us, and that you are so proud and so excited for all of these graduates and all the hard work that they represent. Please be with all of the families that are watching, and the friends and the loved ones. Please send a special blessing to all of our graduates today as we go through this ceremony, and we just wish your presence in this service. We pray in Jesus' name, amen. Now, I have a quick request for all of you. I would like every single one of you, just for a moment, to go onto gallery view and to just hop back on with no microphone, but your camera on, if you would, please. Just everybody jump on so that I can see all of you and you can all see everyone else. Isn't this a good looking bunch of people? It is good to see all of you here. Look around, even though you can't touch, hug, and do all of those other wonderful things. Yes, we've got Alina Baltazar taking a picture of the screen. That's a good thing to do. So if you wanted to do that, now is a fun time to do that. We'll also have you come on screen one more time close to the end, and I'll invite everybody on. But I just wanted everybody to just get on board and just look around. We have 98 participants in this ceremony, not all of whom can be seen, but we all can see you on the screen. And I just wanted to make sure that they could all see everybody, and hopefully your names are all listed on underneath as accurately as possible, so that those people you've heard stories about, you can recognize, and you can talk to your family and friends about them. All right, so go ahead if you would, and turn those cameras back off again, and we're going to proceed on with the service. But we will bring you back in as a group, and even allow you to unmic at some point, so that people like Mary Guyan can whoop and holler. But not yet, Mary. You're going to have to hold off. All right, now here is one person that I'm not sure if I have seen, and that is our musical selection, David Springer. Do we have him? Excellent. David Springer, I see that you are somewhere looking very professional. I don't know where you're at, but I'm glad that you're there and live. And David is one of our MSW students. He's from Trinidad, and he is in his first year, and among his many talents, he is a great singer. So David, welcome, and we'll let you introduce yourself.
Can I say thanks for for the things he's done for me, things so undeserved, yet he came to prove his love for me. The voices of a million angels could not express my gratitude. All that I am and ever hope to be, I owe it all to him. To God be the glory. To our God be the glory. To my God be the glory for the things he has done. For with his blood he has saved me, and by his power he has raised me. To our God be the glory for the things he has done. Just let me live my life. Let it be pleasing, Lord, to you. And should I gain any praise, let it go to Calvary. Calvary. With his blood he has saved me, and by his power he has raised me. To God be the glory for the things he has done. For the things he has
Well, clearly that was not live, as I had previously announced, but that was definitely David Springer, and he is one of our MSW students, and he clearly has a career that could happen outside of social work should he wish. So thank you, David Springer, for giving us that. I'd now like to announce our speaker for today, and this is a speaker that everyone knows and everyone loves, and that's Margaret Howell. Margaret agreed graciously to do this presentation today because, well, first of all, she knows us and we know her and we love her, and we wanted to make sure that she had a chance, even though she had just recently retired, to come back and say some wise words to us while we graduate. Just a little bit of background for those of you that don't know Professor Howell. She is somebody who is at Andrews for 7.5 years in our School of Social Work. She is from Jamaica, as you might be able to tell when she begins talking, but she lived a good share of her life on the East Coast, and so she taught for a period of years at Atlantic Union College. She graduated with her MSW degree from University of Connecticut. She was, while she was here as one of our faculty members, the director of our dual degree programs with the seminary. So she helped to coordinate a large number of students that have come through our program. And several of you who are graduating today had her as your advisor, as you well know. She was also somebody who managed our school social work certification and she taught many classes relating to children and families. She is also known as probably one of the great department moms that we have, somebody that people can talk to and feel comfortable with and feel loved and supported by. And we have definitely missed having that presence around. She tells people that she loves to grow things. She loves to grow plants, she loves to grow people, and she loves to grow programs. And she's done an amazing thing with all of those areas. So Professor Margaret Howell, welcome, and tell us what we need to know in order to move on to this next phase of life.
Oh, now you can see me, yes. Thank you, Professor Dr. Van der Waal. And thank you all for inviting me to be your speaker today. Can you see and hear me well? Yes. Dean Rosenthal, Dr. V, faculty, staff, family and friends, graduates for whom I'm here. I am grateful to be your speaker today. Congratulations. I am so proud of you. I could cry. I don't cry often, but I'm very proud of you. You made it. You made it through this time. And so to call you fellow social workers brings my heart joy. You know, one of the sayings that I had in my office was, good sailors are not prepared on easy seas. It takes a rough sea to make a really good sailor. Well, you came up against the roughest of seas and you didn't quit. You didn't give up. You didn't walk away. You processed, you moved through, and today you are graduated. And I am proud of you. You have come into a time of change. This is a graduation of history. You're a part of history. And you have a story that you will have to tell as part of the story of being part of the first in history of all schools being virtual graduations, the first total virtual graduation at Andrews University. In a matter of days, everything changed around you, and you didn't run away and you didn't fold up. You stood the test and you made it. You came through, and I'm proud of you. You're in a time of change. When I graduated in the mid-'80s, it was a time of change, but nothing like this. Things will never be the same again. You've seen a lot of traumas in your own lifetime, but this by far is the biggest. I was looking at the changes that are going on in the world as we move to going back to what will never be our usual normal. And I noted that in Korea, as they open the churches, people are not allowed to say amen or sing hymns anymore, lest they pass viruses on to others. Life will never be the same. But you know what? You are prepared for this. Having been one of your professors and having worked with all your professors, I know that you are ready and that the world is ready for you. We need you. The world will change. When I came into social work, I came in saying, I'm going into a profession that there will always be need because people always need help. Never imagining that things would change so much and the world would need us so much. Well, the world needs you. The world needs you, Heidi, with your responsibility. Danley with your diligence. Maya with your hardworking self. Josephine, gentle Josephine. Victoria, warm and comforting. Kristen, caring. Lexi, compassionate. Keith, loving Keith. Caitlin, steadfast. Alex, persistent. Martha, kind and gentle Martha. Mary, courageous and vibrant. Ruby with your gentle and steadfast self. Lillian and Dorian. Jordan, sweet. Antion, amazing. You're entering into a world, graduating in a profession where you are desperately needed. The world is changing, but one of the things that I've read is that above all, they're definitely going to need social work. Already the world is beginning to have a lot of social change. New look at the way the homeless is treated, different ways. Already they're beginning to say social work and social service is going to be needed more than ever. You already know this because you see the panic we're in. So the world is ready and waiting for you. But more than that, you are ready for the world that is waiting for you. I know this because I've been there in the social work department. I know how we prepared you. I know that you are ready to face a world that is waiting for you. And I'm happy for you. I'm filled with joy for you. I want to leave with you a text that the Bible says, if you think you came into this profession of caring by accident, the Bible says in Ephesians 2:10, you are God's handiwork, created in Christ to do good works, which God prepared for you in advance. So COVID-19 is no surprise to God, to our all-knowing God. And it's no surprise that you're going into social work and that you are ready for such a time as this. I often thought I drifted into social work, but every time I thought so, I kept being reminded that God called me to this work. It's been a satisfying work. It's been a gratifying work. There have been hard times and ups and downs, but I've never been sorry that I was a social worker. I've never been sorry that God called me to care and to help. I've never not known that I'm an instrument of his peace, that this is a purpose that God called me to. God is calling you also. You are a part of history, a part of a story to tell. Let it be your legacy that you made a difference in people's lives, that you worked for the good of others. One of the most satisfying part of my profession has been every time I go back to somewhere that I've been and someone reminds me that you made a difference in my life for good. There has been ups and downs, like I've said, but I go back to Connecticut, I go back to Massachusetts, I go in Michigan, and inadvertently someone stops me to say, thank God you were there. You are entering into a world that will say, thank God you were there because you're a social worker and you're ready to help. Let me pray for you. Let me pray with you. Dear God, we surrender each of these social workers that you have called into the profession of caring. We surrender them to your care. As they dedicate themselves to care for those that are broken, with broken hearts and broken spirit. We know that you have given them special preparation to heal broken wounds. Give to each a hopeful heart, steadfast and strong. Bless each with cheerfulness and joy and satisfaction in the work that you have called them to. Make each a positive change in a very, very strongly changing world. Be their guide, be their comfort, be their strength. We commit them to your care for your purposes. Amen.
Thank you, Professor Howell. Profound and important and comforting and loving and all things that we know that you are. So thank you again so very much for coming back and joining us one more time. We really, really appreciate it. All right, we're going to transition into a second phase of our program now. This is the phase where we talk about student awards. And we have a variety of different awards that we're giving. Some of these awards are faculty awards, meaning that the faculty have selected students for certain things. And some of them are student awards given to each other. And I'm going to list a few of them, but then we'll be bringing in others of the faculty in to talk about that. And then we'll move from there into the tributes to all of the graduates. We'll let you know a little bit more about the graduate tributes in just a second. But the student awards are as follows. First of all, we have what is called the National Association of Social Workers Student of the Year Award. This is an award that's given out to both a BSW student and an MSW student that the faculty consider to be an all-around person to represent Andrews University as a top student and a top social worker. This is an award that generally happens at the state level, meaning that all of the schools of social work come together in one location, and we have a literal celebration where people come up and are awarded, and it's a really neat ceremony. Unfortunately, once again, one more thing that was canceled because of the coronavirus, and so we're going to announce our two winners here. And you're just going to have to imagine them walking up in front of a crowd of people and receiving this award themselves. The first person is our BSW Social Worker of the Year Award from the National Association of Social Workers, Michigan chapter. And that person at the BSW level is Heidi Smoot. Yay! I forgot to tell all of the faculty, if you can turn on at the end of each of the persons that we announce, and just give a brief round of applause. You don't have to turn your screens on, but just turn on your microphones, just so we can feel like we're actually cheering for them. I'll say just a couple of things about Heidi, and then we'll cheer for her. Heidi is somebody who was our, on fairly short notice, she was our president of the social work club this year, and she came in and she was, and there's Heidi. Thank you for coming on screen, Heidi. She was our social worker who was the director, not the director, she was the president of our social work club. She did a lot of neat things in conjunction with her other officers, and that includes things like de-stress events and some social events and other kinds of things, spiritual events that happened around for our social work majors as well. She's also somebody who, in addition to having a very strong GPA, we won't say how high, but it couldn't get any higher than it was. She was somebody who also was a sportswoman, and she was given the award on Friday of Sportswoman of the Year for Andrews University. Her brother, twin brother Eric, was the other person who was given that. So apparently some really good sports genes in that particular family. So Heidi, we'll hear a little bit more about her and her background when we announce her as one of the BSW students who's graduating. But for right now, we just want to say how proud we are of you, Heidi, and how glad we are that you joined our social work program. Congratulations. Faculty, give her a round of applause, please.
Yay!
Yay!
All right. Our next social worker who received the NASW Michigan Social Worker of the Year Award is Mary Guyan. Mary, if you can hop on as a picture, please. We'd like to see you. Mary, are you here?
Yes, I am, Dr. V.
Right. There she is. Wonderful. So Mary is somebody who, as you'll find out in a variety of different ways, is an infectious presence wherever she goes. She's somebody who promotes social work wherever she is, and she is somebody who we are super proud of. This is actually her third master's degree. She claims that this is her favorite one, and we choose to believe her because we know that she would not lie to us. But she is somebody who has dedicated so much of her time and her energy to the department, and we're so happy to have her. She was last year's president of our social work club, and many events and many activities, and she was a leader and continues to have been a leader throughout her time with our program for the 2 years that she was in our MSW program. So we've been very proud to have her with us, and very glad. She also had a very strong GPA as well. We don't give numbers, but it's a very, very strong GPA as well. So congratulations, and we're so proud of you, Mary. Everybody clap and give her cheers, please.
Yay!
All right. Thank you, Mary. Two other people that I'm announcing, and then I will get off the screen and let some other people get on here. Our first person who received what's called the Reger Smith Award goes to, and this is an award that they have no idea that they're getting. In fact, all of the rest of the awards from here on out, nobody knows that they're actually getting except the faculty. So students, when you hear your name, I want you to turn your camera on, please. You don't need to turn the volume on, but you can turn the camera on, please, so that everyone can see you. The person who won the BSW level for the Regis Smith Award is Maya Nelson. Maya, jump onto the screen, please. Maya, shock and awe, are you coming in?
She's
I
there.
know she was on early. I know she's around somewhere.
She's on,
Well,
I see her.
there's Maya. Excellent. Great to see you. You're looking lovely today. And I see you have your cords on. That's very nice. Excellent. Good job. Just a quick word about the the BSW Regis Smith Award. Regis Smith was the person who founded our department. And one of the things that our faculty do every year is to select one person in either the May or the August graduating class who represents the values and the academics and the leadership and the service learning that we expect to see in a really great social worker. And Maya is somebody who represents all of those. She's just a great all-around person. So similar to that NASW Michigan Award, this is a really great honor, and the department, all of the faculty agreed that you were the person that needed to get this award. So congratulations to Maya Nelson.
Hey.
Good job. All right, if you want to pop back off, thank you. Our next person that we're going to announce is the MSW Regis Smith recipient, and that person is Donna Campbell. Donna, are you hiding out there somewhere? Donna?
Donna can't get online.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Well, we'll have to send her the recording.
There was someone with her name there that I just saw, and I just moved them.
I'm on.
There she is. Way to go. All right, I'm so pleased. Now show your face as well as your husband's face. We want to see you live, Donna. If you're willing, of course.
I don't know what happened.
Hi, everyone. Congrats.
There she is. All right, and husband. Great. Lovely to see you. We're so proud of you, and we're glad that we finally got you here.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm going to move forward. We are going to be saying the nice, lovely things about each one of the students when we get to the faculty portion of the tributes. So we'll be bringing people back on individually to say the warm and lovely things. So Donna, if you want to hop back off, I'm now going to turn over the camera to our BSW program director, Desiree Davis. So if Desi, if you can come on and make a few announcements of some of the students.
All right. Okay, can you see me okay? Let's see.
Yes, we can see you.
Okay, all right. I'm Dr. Desiree Davis, and I'm the BSW program director. And every year we do what we call peer awards for our BSW and MSW students. The students select from among their peers candidates for the following awards in the areas of academic excellence, service excellence, leadership excellence, and professional excellence. The BSW students select BSW students, and the MSW students select MSW students. This year, the BSW students selected for academic excellence, Heidi Smoot. Heidi, please turn on your camera. Let's give Heidi a round of applause and great congratulations. Congratulations. For the Service Excellence Award, the recipient is Josephine St. Hilaire. Josephine, please turn on your camera. Please join me, everyone, in giving Josephine a round of applause. Congratulations, Josephine.
Josephine!
In the category of leadership excellence, the students chose Maya Nelson. Maya, please turn on your camera. Let's give Maya a round of applause. Congratulations, Maya.
Hey, Maya!
Hey.
In the area of professional excellence, the BSW students chose Victoria Carmona. Join me in giving Victoria Carmona a round of applause. Congratulations, Victoria Carmona. MSW peer awards will be given out at our August graduation. Dr. Vanderwall will now come and present our tribute to our BSW students.
Okay, I'm back. Thank you, Desi. That was a really great and rousing way to give honors and awards to people. So thank you for that. So here's what we're going to do now. This is really a time when each one of you individually gets to be honored as someone who is special to our department. One of the things that we've always loved about this particular graduation for the social work, School of Social Work folks, is that we get to say some things. The main graduation service, it's kind of a little bit formal. It feels a little bit more stiff. It's also, you know, high drama because you're in the church and marching and all of that. And we know that that's not going to happen. But because today we're able to still be here in a more intimate setting, even though we're distant, one of the things that we like to do is say nice things about what we appreciate about our advisors. So each one of us, if we're an advisor, will be coming on, introducing ourselves, and then saying a few nice and warm and wonderful things about the person who is hopefully next to us on the screen, or that we can see on the screen, just to say how much we love and how much we appreciate them. And since I'm the one that's telling you how things get set up here, we're still going to continue to hop on and clap at the end of each presenter so that we know that people are being loved and supported. So faculty, and I suppose students, as long as you want to jump in and clap, as long as you're willing to turn your microphones back off again right afterwards, you might as well join in too. But I'm just going to start off here with our BSW students first. And I have one BSW student who was my advisee, and that was Kristen Kramer. So Kristen, if you could unmute and or video open your camera, please. There she is. All right. So Kristen Kramer, it has been an absolute joy to watch how resilient you are. I don't know of a better word to use to describe that. You have had a number of different challenges throughout the time that you've been in this program, and virtually none of them have been things that you have ever anticipated or wanted or wished for, and yet you have taken them with grace and with class and with determination. You have been somebody who has just kept on moving forward in spite of those challenges and those barriers. And I am so, so proud of you. And I know that your parents and other relatives are so proud of you as well. And I know that you had said that you were a little ambivalent about joining on the ceremony and that you wanted to do this for your mom. So Mom, I hope you're here watching as well, because you have an amazing daughter and we're so proud of her. Just to let you know, Kristen did her internship at a place called Life Plan, which is down in Niles, Michigan. It's formerly the Pregnancy Care Center, and she did an absolutely amazing job. So Kristen Kramer, congratulations. We are so proud of you. Round of applause for Kristen.
Yay!
All right. I'm now going to turn it over to Professor Shannon Trecarton.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can see me. This is such an awesome time to be joining together a very weird setting, but I'm so glad that we're able to be together and do this. So I want to talk just a little bit more about my advisee, Heidi Smoot. Heidi is so amazing, and you've heard so many things about her already. NASW Michigan chapter BSW Student of the Year. Thanks for turning on your camera, Heidi. Apparently a basketball scholar or award or something, which I just heard about. But overall, all around committed to academic excellence. Heidi, it has been such a pleasure to have you as my advisee. She would always come into the office super prepared. She knew exactly where she wanted to go. She knew exactly how to get there, and always made it easy for me as an advisor. We met often because she wanted to know what was going on. Heidi, as I said, is committed to academic excellence. I've had her in a couple of classes, in research class and in a practice class, and she's worked very, very hard. She's also very service oriented, and as our social work club president, we've gotten to see you show us your leadership skills and your planning skills, and we've got to benefit from some things like the de-stress events that you've planned with your team members. Heidi interned at Bethany Christian Services in Benton Harbor, and they liked her so much they actually gave her a job. She also is receiving the Child Welfare Certificate. Heidi, we are so proud of you. Congratulations. Everybody please join me in applauding Heidi. Yay!
Hey, go Heidi, go.
Go, go.
And now I'm going to pass it to Professor Desiree Davis.
All right, so hope everybody can see me. Okay. I'm going to request that Danley Mark turn on her camera. Let's see if I can see Danley. Oh, good. I see you, Danley. It has been my pleasure to have Danley as an advisee. Danley is a wonderful person. She has a very unique sense of humor and would often keep me laughing, not just in my office, but in class. I have found Danley to be a very hard worker and to persist in completing her education. Danley would often leave class and go straight to her job and work a full shift. Sometimes this meant not being involved in her extracurricular activities held in the school, but Danley served as our treasurer for the social work club. I am very proud of you, Danley. I know that you're going to be a great social worker. Danley completed her internship at Life Plan, formerly Pregnancy Care Center in Niles, Michigan. She is currently working with children with autism at Centria Healthcare in St. Joseph, Michigan, where she has gained valuable experience working as a behavioral technician. Danley plans to pursue her MSW after graduation. Please, everyone, join me in congratulating Danley on this great accomplishment. Congratulations. Next, I'm going to ask Maya Nelson to turn on her camera. There's Maya. It has been my honor to have Maya Nelson as an advisee. Maya is organized and responsible and enthusiastic about everything that she is involved in. She has always been upbeat and positive, and you've never let personal challenges prevent you from achieving your goals. Maya served as our social work club vice president this past year, and she has served with distinction. She completed her internship at the Berrien County DHSS office, where she volunteered last summer, even before her internship started. And that's how she kind of got started with us at the club, because she was in the area last summer. Maya also completed the requirements for the Child Welfare Certificate program, which is a partnership from the Baccalaureate Social Work programs here in the state of Michigan and the Michigan DHHS office. Maya plans to work for a while and then start graduate school in January of 2021. She is interested in school social work and child welfare. She also has a minor in criminal justice, where she may use in the future. And Maya reminded me a few days ago that we've been working together since she was in high school. We can chalk this up to the junior and senior preview meetings that we have every year. I am very proud of Maya, and I know that she's going to be an excellent social worker, and I wish her well in the next chapter of her life. And I want everyone to join me in congratulating Maya for this great accomplishment. Last but not least, Josephine St. Hilaire, if you could turn on your camera. There's Josephine. It has been my privilege to have Josephine St. Hilaire as an advisee. Josephine is quiet, responsible, a sweet young woman whom I've had the privilege to advise over the last few years. Now, she presents with these attributes I just described her as, but underneath, she is relentless in the pursuit of her goals. Let me tell you, Josephine had me complete 8 or 9 recommendation letters for graduate school. And when I thought I was so burned out, she says, I got to have you do one more, just one more, Professor Davis. She is diligent and serious about her future. She completed her internship at Neighbor to Neighbor and plans on getting her MSW at Boston College, where she will focus on children, youth, and families. Josephine eventually would like to work at the Department of Children and Family Services to ensure children have a better life in our country. I am very proud of you, Josephine. I know you will make a great social worker. Please, everyone, join me in congratulating Josephine St. Hilaire on this great accomplishment. I am now going to turn it over to Professor Lloyd Hamilton, who will introduce his MSW advisees.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Really appreciate it. My task this afternoon is to give tributes to 2 of our graduates. The first being Lexius Brini. Lexius, could you turn on your camera, please? There you are, wonderful. Good to see you, Lexius. You know, Lexius has completed his dual degree program, a Master of Social Work and a Master of Divinity. Lexius completed his field placement, internship placement at First the Blade program, Adventist Theological Seminary. You know, I only met Lexius in January of this year. And so to do justice to this tribute, I asked Professor Howell, who was his previous advisor, to share 3 attributes about Lexius. And Professor Howell shared: 1, he has a gentle, caring spirit. 2, Lexius is insightful. 3, Lexius is intuitive. So congratulations on your well-deserved success, Lexius. I must also hasten to say that the occasions I've had conversations with you, you have presented yourself as a confident, assured person who knows what he wants and who knows what he's about. And I do believe that you will go on and do good ministry for the Lord. Continue to be bold, continue to be courageous, continue to be yourself. Please let us all celebrate Lexius' achievement.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Lexius. Now, my second student is Keith Miller, Pastor Miller. Could you please turn on your video, your camera? All right, there you are, Keith. You know, Keith, I've met before I came to teach at Andrews University. I've met him in very many different social events. Keith also completed the dual degree program. He completed the Master of Divinity and the Master of Social Work program. He did his field placement at Oaklawn Psychiatric Services. And so, Keith, I also did the same thing with you, with Professor Howell. And she said the 3 attributes about you. 1, you're focused, knows what you want, and goes after it. 2, you're loving. 3, you're a diligent Christian pastor. So I'm happy, so happy to share in the excitement of your graduation day, and so very proud of you, Keith. You know, when Professor Howell mentioned that second attribute of being loving, I recall that I have observed that of you around the domino table.
Our girls are beautiful.
Myself being a donor to you. However, to be on a more serious note,
True.
I've also observed you being a loving father to your twin daughter. On many occasions, you brought your daughters to those social events, and just your interaction with them and how you treated them and how you treated your friends. You are truly a diligent Christian pastor that embodies love. And so, if opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. Remember that quality is not an act, it is a habit. And it does not matter how slowly you get to where you go, as long as you do not stop. A quote that I recall that I would like to share for both Lexius and Keith. Author is unknown, but it says, a good idea is like a match. It is useless unless you strike it into flames. So continue to set your ideas ablaze, both Keith and Lexius. And may God bless you, really, truly bless your ministries. I pray this. Let us all celebrate with Keith at this time. Yay! All right, thank you. At this time, I transition to Professor Slickers.
I'm Ingrid Slickers, and Caitlin Campbell, if you could be live, please. She was probably wondering what happened because she was a dual degree and suddenly they were done. It's because I requested and I begged and I was allowed to be able to do this tribute for you. So Caitlin is an MSW and an MDiv student. She did her internships, her first one at ASAP, which is Advocates for Southeast Asians and the Persecuted. And then her second one, she did it at our newly formed International Center for Trauma Education and Care. And she was the center's first intern, of which I had the privilege of supervising her. So as many of you know, Caitlin is adaptable and flexible and responsible and dependable and all these things you all know. But maybe something that you don't know is that through this journey that we've had with the center, we've had to do a lot of praying. And Caitlin would come in my office. And when Caitlin prays, Caitlin doesn't bow her head and folds her hands. So I have to change my screen so you can see this. Caitlin always opens her hands during prayer. And she would either lay them open on my desk or lay them open on her lap as she accepts and is filled with the Holy Spirit. And Caitlin, I have watched and observed and I've seen the Holy Spirit fill you, and then you've turned to others with those same open hands to help their hurting, to promote healing, restoration, and obviously, especially from trauma, your openness in those hands. And so you have touched us. I know you've said, I'm so grateful I got this internship. We're the ones that are grateful for what you have brought. And so I'm going to high five God for creating you, but for bringing you to the center, and for bringing you, most importantly, to social work. So let's unmute our mics and let's cheer Caitlin on. Congratulations, Caitlin.
Good job.
I'm now going to pass it on to Dr. Shannon Trecarton.
Hi, everyone. The next advisee that I have the privilege of talking to you about is Martha Detweiler. Martha, would you turn on your camera? There you are. Oh, are you down in Texas? Okay, so Martha is so amazing. When she did her portfolio defense, I know that a couple of us got the opportunity to tell her how inspired we are by her and how moved we are by her, because this is a woman who has had to be dedicated in order to get through this journey. Not because she's not capable. I mean, she's brilliant. She's wonderful. But Martha has had to go through a couple of really big changes during her pursuit of her MSW degree. Martha began her journey with us, taking 1, sometimes 2 classes at a time. And we'd come in and she'd jokingly say, I'm never going to finish. But I kept saying, no, you will finish, you will finish. So she began kind of slow, but in the end, she was running full speed ahead, trying to finish her degree. And she was so committed that not only was she juggling a brand new infant who grew into this toddler, but also she was flying back and forth from Texas every single week to complete her classes. And that takes determination, dedication, and perseverance. Thankfully, she has a great life partner in Joel, and her little girl is pretty easy and pretty sweet. And here she is, probably gonna, oh, there's Joel, hi. Martha, it has been a pleasure watching you go through this journey, and you really have been an inspiration to us. I wanna say that you're an example of balance. It might not sound like balance, but you've managed it, and you've made it here to the end, and I'm praying to God that you have a moment now to stop and rest and just enjoy. And I am just so excited to see where God leads you. Martha interned in Communities and Schools, Big Country in Abilene, Texas, as a school social worker. And I would like to invite the rest of you to join me now in applauding Martha and congratulating her. My next advisee is Mary Guyan. Mary, would you please turn on your camera? Hi, Mary. I made a promise to you about a year ago that when I talked to you on stage about how much I appreciated you, I would do it from this book. And here is this book. And someday, all of you should ask Mary about this book, but I'm not going to tell you right now. So, Mary Guyan, NASW, Michigan chapter, MSW Student of the Year, previous president of the Social Work Club. Mary, you are all over the place. You were also involved with GSA, Graduate Student Association, had a role there too. I can't remember what the role was, but you are everywhere. We can't keep up with you for sure, but we have appreciated your spirit, your just passion for life, and as Dr. Vanderwall indicated, this growing passion for social work. And I think the place that I see it most evident right now is in your internship with Spectrum Lakeland in Population Health, working with the Community Conversations. I know it has another name, but Mary, you are really passionate about helping people who are oppressed, who are vulnerable, have voice and hearing their voice and giving them an opportunity to speak and then sharing their voices with others. And I've really appreciated being not just your advisor, but your field liaison. The other thing I just want to say about you and to let everyone else know is Mary and I had an opportunity to go and work at Camps for the Blind last summer. So we went to Timber Ridge in Indiana, and Mary and I and Terry did trauma-informed and trauma awareness training with the staff at Timber Ridge. And we were able to do some really, really important work with the campers there. And Mary, I know it changed your life. It changed mine. So I'm so glad I had the joy of experiencing that with you. So Mary has a mental health focus area. She'll be receiving that award today. And yeah, and please join me in congratulating Mary. Mary! And now, Margaret Howell, would you join us to talk about your advisee?
Okay. Am I on or no?
You are on.
Oh, okay. My advisee is Alexander Giesel. Alex, would you turn on your mic?
Margaret, your video isn't on.
Oh, Dan, can you turn on the video? The host has asked you to start your video. Okay. Okay, good. Thanks, Twyla. Alex, is Alex with us? Alex is actually, is Alex there?
Not yet.
Not yet, but he's coming. Okay. Let's wait for him for a minute. Oh, he was on earlier? Oh, okay, Alex. Alex, extrovert to everyone. Okay. Alex Gisler has been with us a long time. Alex is actually a dual degree student, and maybe it's appropriate that I speak on his behalf because he's been with us a little while. Alex, he graduated with his MDiv earlier, and he's now graduating with his MSW while he completes his doctorate in ministry. Alex is one of the most multi-talented people I know. One thing many of you might not know about him, he's an outstanding certified mechanic. And he has ministered to more people in this community through their cars than I know. Alex is a very caring Christian pastor. And whenever I've had functions at the school, Alex always showed up with his whole family, and they always jumped in and helped. He has a family ministry going, right? Alex did his placement at the Village Church down the street from the school, where he worked with Mrs. Haywood in the counseling center there. And now Alex is pastoring in Canada. He's pastoring 2 churches, and he's really excited to be able to pastor both churches online. He's focusing on the book of Jonah right now, and that's exciting for him. Join me in congratulating Alex and just praying for his ministry. You're welcome. Thanks, Alex. It's good to see you. Okay.
So now I'm going to ask Ruby Huerta to turn on her camera. We want to honor her. So I'm Alina Baltazar. I'm the MSW Program Director, and I have a few advisees that we want to honor. But I don't see Ruby yet. Oh, there you are. Hi. Hi. So I remember when you first came in and you're wondering, well, is social work really what I want to do? Because you had originally wanted to do nutrition, but thought maybe social work was a better fit. And I really do believe it was. Now, I think we all know Ruby to be pretty quiet, but you know what? She is not a pushover. She has this quiet determination. And I really saw it when we went to Puerto Rico. There was a group of us, along with some faculty and students from the Behavioral Sciences Department, and also the counseling, grad counseling program. We went down there to do some trauma education and care. That's actually where we started getting this whole idea of this trauma education and care idea, and helping them understand what happened to them after the hurricane. And she was right there ready to go, and we needed her to translate. And so she jumped right in. So she's always so helpful and willing to be there when needed. And then for her internship, she actually did it where I work, where I do my counseling on Thursdays. I think you all know you never can get a hold of me on Thursdays because I'm at Life Coach. And she was actually, we haven't had an intern there for a long time. It was probably because they weren't sure if they could find anybody for her to see or for things for her to do. But they're like, you know what, let's give this a try. And you know what, she just jumped right in and did whatever they needed. There was a variety of things they needed help with, and she was willing to do it, and then was flexible to get her hours in, and she got it in. And because it went so well, they actually are open to having another intern again. So because of the hard work and how reliable you were and flexible you were, they're willing to take on another intern. And Ruby, what she's hoping to do after this is go down to Texas, be closer to family, and wanting to work with children. But I've also tried to convince her older adults also could be a population she's really good with. She's so patient and so kind and can do well with that population too. And her focus area is in mental health. And so she is rearing ready to do counseling and really work on those clinical mental health issues of the most vulnerable. So let's all congratulate Ruby on her accomplishments.
Go Ruby!
All right, now we have Lillian Lopez. Lillian, turn on your camera. Lillian, it's your turn, finally. Well, one thing I think we all know Lillian for, she's been working on her degree for a while. Actually started back in 2014. So you got this in. We want to make sure we give you that honor and for your family to celebrate with you. So I remember when you first came in to me, because she actually, there's a reason why it took so long, not like she couldn't do it. It's because she actually is a staff at Andrews University in the housing department. And she sacrificed for her family to be able to provide Christian education for her kids, but also to be able to take advantage of that free class per semester. And she just plugged along, just took one class at a time or two, depending on what the schedule was and what credits were allowed. And she just kept on going and got it done, even getting the internship in with, again, family and work responsibilities. And her original goal, the reason why she felt called to go into social work, is to work with those who are dying. So I know a lot of us, it's really hard to think about doing work with those who are dying, but this is the reason why she went to social work. And so her internship was at the Caring Circle. So that's our local hospice facility. And they said she did great there. She was very caring, very, very professional. And of course, being bilingual is so important with people who are in such a vulnerable situation, that she's even open not only to working with that vulnerable population, but also children. So she's felt called to do that as well. So her focus areas are in mental health and medical social work. So those are great focus areas to prepare her to work with either one of those vulnerable populations. And I'm sure your care and your patience will be greatly appreciated by those groups. So let's all join together and congratulate Lillian. Congratulations. So now I'm going to pass the camera back on to Professor Vanderwall so he can honor our last few graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Baltazar. We have 2 graduates left at the MSW level. One of them is, I don't know if she actually was able to make it today, but if she is able to see us, but maybe couldn't get in, I'm just going to say something about her anyway. That person graduated in December, and her name is Jordan Skinner. I think all of the students know Jordan and love her, and so you can say nice things in the chat section as you need to, which, by the way, has been an absolute blast to watch. This is an interactive experience that you don't get when you're sitting there and everybody's in the same room and no one can talk, but this has been really fun to watch, all of the nice things that people are saying and all the fun things. So just a few words about Jordan Skinner. Jordan was somebody who actually was in our program for 3 years because she took an unconventional approach. She was working at Campus Abel and was, I believe, the girls program director while there. And so she tended to move some scheduling around in order to accommodate some of her other interests. And as a result, it took her just a little bit longer and she ended up graduating in December. But Jordan was somebody that everyone, I think, that knew her knew that she was just the genuine, real deal. Jordan was someone who was warm and who was caring and who you always knew that she was in the room because she just lit things up. And so we are really proud of her. She was also somebody who worked for me as my graduate assistant. So I got to see another side of her. And she was somebody who was always on top of things and who always followed through. And I appreciated that so much. So congratulations to Jordan Skinner, wherever you are, and hopefully you can see us. And let's all give Jordan a round of applause, even if it's in abstention. Congratulations. Now, our last MSW that we're going to announce is Antion Williams. So Antion, if you can join us with your camera turned on, please. There he is. As you can see, Antion is someone whose smile lights up the room wherever he goes. And we are so glad that he was able to come over from the Detroit area and join us. he was somebody who, when he came into the program, had some doubts about how the program might play out for him. And one of the things that I have so appreciated about you, Antion, is that you have been persistent, and as you have gone further and further into the program, you've gotten more confident. You've gotten, I think, better and better grades, and you've done this all the while that you've been working in areas of substance abuse and being really, 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 I think, a great, compassionate, caring, connected individual. One of the things that I think is my favorite irony about you is that in coming in, you were hesitant about some of your academic abilities, but because of the way you were able to move through the program, you actually got two focus areas. There's one in mental health, and then you got another one in medical social work. And
he's saying 3.
3, that's right. He got his trauma certification as well. So we are so, so proud of you. I almost left one out there. Good job. But congratulations. I don't know, is this someone important next to you? I might as well have you turn on and just say who this is.
That's my mom.
Well, it's great to see your mom, and we are so pleased that you were able to join us from over in the Detroit area, and just congratulations. Everybody turn on your camera or your and say congratulations to Antion.
Antion, I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
This is Lloyd, Antion. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I do appreciate it.
All right. So let me make sure that I'm still here. Yeah, I guess I'm still here. Good. This is at the end of our tributes for both our BSW and our MSWs. What I'd like everybody to do, could you switch over to gallery view just for a second? I want everybody to jump back on again just for a second. Turn on your mic and your camera, and let's all just give each other a big round of applause. You want to do that? Very nice. Now, the one thing that we didn't tell you to do, and I think I was remiss in not telling you this, is that it's now time, if you are an MSW student, one of the things that you do is to actually put your hood on. You got a little coaching from Professor Baltazar at the very beginning about how to do that. And if you happen to have a family member that's around and you happen to have a hood, we know that not everybody was able to get one, and maybe not everybody was able to get their cap and gown before they were able to leave the campus. But if you did, please put on that hood over the top of you, and we're going to give you one more round of applause. So if there's anybody there to help you out, put that hood on over the top of you, please. We'll wait for just a second while you do that. Family joining in, waving. We appreciate seeing y'all there. I see Caitlin getting her hood put on. Lillian, you're looking great. Keith with one of his twins, 2 of his twins. Alexius just got his hood put on. Looks nice. Mary Guyan, you looking good with the hood on. It's a nice extra piece. Very nice. That may be everybody that happens to have a hood. Very fun, and we're so, so proud of you and so glad that you could do this. I'm gonna now hop back off and turn the microphone back over to Professor Baltazar.
And I'm just here to introduce our next speaker. So the next part of the program is the tribute to family and friends. And we really feel it's important for a student to be actually the one who gives that tribute to family and friends. And as you've heard already about Mary Guyan, she just has this effervescent personality, and I think can really show the passion and appreciation that we want to give to our family and friends. So Mary, it is now up to you.
Congratulations, guys. Everybody, so happy for everyone. As social workers, when we do our assessment with our clients, we always ask this one specific question. That is, do you have a support system? Because we recognize that as human beings, we could never tread to this world by ourselves. That is why I want to thank each and every one of you who are here. I see 110 participants that are our support system in the form of parents, uncles, aunts, siblings, significant others, friends that are family, kind housemates, you know, the pizza delivery guys. I'm sure they're not watching, but you know, Google, Quizlet, everyone has been our support system. So I want to thank you all for loving us and staying with us even when we were not so lovable. There were times when I'm sure we wanted to shower the wrath of God on you, but you were still there cooking us meals, still there calling us, still there sending us money when, you know, broke life is a thing for students, and just telling us that it's going to be okay and we're going to get through this. So thank you very much for not just praying for us, but praying with us and telling us that, you know, that everything is going to be fine, even when times felt like we're never going to move forward from this situation. So thank you for being that support system. I know typically at this time we hand out flowers to the people that are in the auditorium, but we're not able to do that at this moment. But maybe you can just, I don't know, hug the people that are around you as your support system, or, you know, do whatever you want to do, but just give them a warm hug and say thank you like a million times, because you would not have done this without them. I see somebody saying social distancing, but I mean, if they're in the room with you, I think you can hug them. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mary. We appreciate you, and we appreciate all that you were able to say about family and friends. And truly, truly, especially during this time, we would not have been able to get through without everyone. I'd like to just do one more. Everybody unmute, unmic, and uncamera, or camera, I guess, turn on. And just one more time, look around at everybody and cheer and say congratulations to everybody. So one more time, please jump on in here and just say how much you love us all.
Merry congrats!
Congratulations, everyone!
One, everybody.
Wait, hold on. Where I said, man, big up yourself.
Big up yourself, man. Big up yourself.
Yes, Mary, we hear you. Big up
Martha and Alexander.
And we love you, professors.
Stanley.
We love you.
Thank you, Mary.
Love you too.
Hey, Donna, my
Love you,
video
Dr.
start coming
Davis.
on.
Heidi
Love you too.
and Josephine.
And I'll put my game.
Lopez.
Enjoy this moment, guys.
I will see you.
Dr.
Happy for you
Cooper.
guys. Proud of you.
Alexis. Good job, Alexis.
Hi, Keith. Proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Slickers, Dr. Davis, Dr. Twyla,
Dr. Twyla
Dr. Shannon,
promoted me.
Baltazar, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Dr. V and Dr. Howell and everybody. ONU, Dr.
Thank you very much, Dr. Slicker, then Dr. Cooper. Thank you very much.
Congrats, Alex.
Chair, thank you very much for supporting us, guiding us step by step, baby steps to the study. Thank you very much. Appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Congrats,
Thank
Alex. We're proud of you.
you. God bless you. Thank you. Margaret, thank you.
All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and take the prerogative of slowing this down here. I know that we could probably say thank you to people all the rest of the day, but I'm going to leave that to everyone to send emails or FaceTime or other ways of congratulation and celebrating. So why don't we go ahead and mute and close down your cameras one more time. And we're going to make a transition here to ask God's blessing on us into the future. We have our Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences that has been floating around to a variety of different graduation services, and so she was just able to come in and join us. Dr. Amy Reebok Rosenthal is here, and she would like to give all of us a graduation blessing. So Dr. Rosenthal, the time is yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vanderwall. And to all of you graduates, on behalf of the College of Arts and Sciences, we just want you to know how very proud of you we are. You know, nobody would have guessed, predicted the circumstances we currently find ourselves in. But I want you to know that this in no way deflects from the amazing accomplishments that we're celebrating today and tomorrow. And although this weekend isn't what we had imagined, we want to ask God's blessing on you, your future endeavors, and that wherever you go, you will always be part of Andrews University. So it's a real privilege to be able to continue a tradition for the School of Social Work. And that is to end your ceremony with the social worker's prayer and a Franciscan blessing. So the social worker's prayer: give me a spirit like yours to use the skill you've given me. Help me be patient and use wisdom to provide the best service I can. Give me a discerning spirit to help me make good choices. Help me to be accepting of those who are different from me. Help me to see the strength in those that I serve and treat them with the utmost dignity and respect. Help me to see the uniqueness of all individuals and his or her right to self-determination. Help me to see the blessing in being kind to those who are in need, and help me to be like you, the ultimate social worker. And for the Franciscan blessing, may God bless you with discomfort at easy answers, half-truths, and superficial relationships, so that you may live deep within your heart. May God bless you with anger at injustice, oppression, and exploitation of people and the earth, so that you may work for justice, freedom, and peace. May God bless you with tears to shed for those who suffer from pain, rejection, starvation, and war, so that you may reach out your hand to comfort them and to turn their pain into joy. May God bless you with enough foolishness to believe that you can make a difference in this world, so that you can do what others claim cannot be done. And the blessing of God, who creates, redeems, and sanctifies, be upon you and all you love. Amen.
Thanks so much, Dr. Rosenthal. This concludes the May 2020 Social Work Graduation Celebration. We are so glad that you were able to join us. I think at the height we had 120 people who joined, and it was so much fun, more fun than I ever thought that it could be, because all of the comments and all of the people that were walking across the screen and having congratulations signs and other sorts of things, ways to make this a special service, even though we weren't able to be live and in person. So thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being a part of our program. Thank you for being a part of this service today. We are proud of all of you, all of the parents, friends, relatives. Thank you so much for sending and entrusting the students to us. It's been an amazing journey, and we are just proud and grateful to have had all of you here with us. So keep us posted on what happens in your future. We're going to be interested to see where things go from here on out. We don't know what the future is going to look like, but we trust that you'll let us know, because we know that the world is going to need social workers more than ever. We're going to go ahead and close down this feed now. But I wanted to say thank you to Dan Hamstra, who's been our administrator behind the scenes, managing all of the cameras and everything else. So thank you so much to Dan Hamstra. And once again, thank you to everyone. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. And I hope that the service tomorrow, for those of you that decide to join, will be equally meaningful. And even if it's not quite the same rowdy bunch that we have today, we still know that you will appreciate it, and that it will be something that will be meaningful, and that you will never forget it one way or the other. So congratulations to everyone, and goodbye. Take care.
Bye.
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 Bye, everyone.
Love you.
Bye, Alex. Bye, Mary. Bye, Lillian. Bye, Martha. Bye, Kristen. Bye, Ruby.
Oh my gosh, she's
Sophie.
oh Martha, she's adorable.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll give you 1 minute to say hello and goodbye to everybody. And then
You can't just cut us off that quickly, Doctor.
Dr. V shutting everything down.
All right, one love to everybody.
Love you guys.
Bye. Bye.
That's adorable.
In 5, 4,
3, 2, 1.